Hi, welcome to Nari's YouTube channel. This is going to be a two-part series on being gluten-free and medications. Part one is going to be on over-the-counter medications and part two on prescription medications. These are just my tips and tricks on what we do as a family to make sure that the medications we get over-the-counter are safe and gluten-free. So today's topic is going to be on over-the-counter medications. And why is that important? So celiac disease, you may be watching this because you have celiac disease, or maybe somebody you know has celiac disease. Celiac disease is an autoimmune disease, which means when you ingest the protein on wheat, barley, or rye, which is called gluten, your body has an immune response. And over time, that immune response can damage your small intestine. And that small intestine is so important. It helps your body absorb foods, absorb meds. So if you get glutened, then your body may not be able to absorb what it needs. And if you're feeling sick already and your immune system is already compromised, when I get glutened, my immune system crashes. That's my response. And I tend to pick up any bug or virus that's around me, and I get really, really sick, and I have a tough time getting over it quickly because my immune system is not healthy. So the last thing I want to do is put a vitamin or a medicine that's supposedly going to make me better and make me feel worse. So that's why having and making sure your over-the-counter medications are gluten-free as well. And it's not something I ever thought about. When I was first diagnosed, it was all about food. And thinking of medicine didn't even cross my mind. So a lot has happened in 20 years. They used to not be clearly marked at all, which made it very hard to know if your medications were gluten-free. Now, many medications are clearly marked, which makes things so much easier. So this is not a video to tell you which brands are the best or what you should be using. This is just a video to show you on some bottles that we have where the labeling is located and what it might look like. So where you can find it, and if it's not on the label, where you can find that information. So these are just a few bottles I had lying in my cabinet. And I'm going to share with you why I liked these particular brands. But again, you may not have these brands near you and you may like other things, and that's totally fine. This is a vitamin for my boys. And the first priority for me when picking a vitamin was making sure it was gluten-free, right? Because they have celiac disease. And nowadays, you can see here, hopefully it will come in focus. It says no gluten. I love it. I love it. That makes things so much easier. Now, this is a Target brand generic for Flintstones. I want to say, I love Target brand. I don't know when they started changing their labeling. I can't remember. It's been at least 5-6 plus years. I can't even remember. But they made it so easy, right? Because whatever it is that I need that's Target brand, whether it's a supplement or ibuprofen or Tylenol or vitamins, it is clearly marked right on the back. Makes it easy. Another brand that I have in my cabinet, it's like a local pharmacy brand, is called Top Care. So you probably may or may not have that in your local stores, and that's okay. But I wanted to show you the labeling that is located on the Top Care bottles. It clearly says gluten-free, right? So it's past like the slew of ingredients, and it says right there, easy as pie, gluten-free. Love it. Makes my life so much easier. And of course, bottles are not going to be sitting out on shelves in stores open like this, right? They're going to come to you in a box like this. So where are you going to look on the box? Spin that box around, and it's typically on the very bottom somewhere. And right here you can see clearly marked gluten-free. These are my favorite types of bottles or boxes. And this is another Top Care brand. So if I see Top Care brand, I'll reach for it because I know that they're clearly marked. A lot of boxes and bottles are clearly marked nowadays, which makes things so much easier than they used to be. So spin those boxes and bottles around, look on the back to see if they're gluten-free. Those I feel safe giving to my family. Now let's say it's not labeled. What do you do? And you need something over the counter. Well, research becomes a celiac patient's best friend. Best friend. You should become so well versed in research and researching that it should be like in your go-to bag of tools, right? So what do I type in to research something? Let's say I'm researching this and it wasn't clearly marked, okay? Then I would open up my browser, and in the search bar, I would type in is Top Care brand, because you want to write in the manufacturer, is Top Care brand ibuprofen tablets. Be as specific as possible, gluten-free. Sometimes you get really lucky and there's like an FAQ page, a frequently asked questions page on the manufacturer on Top Care's website, and it may say all of our products are gluten-free or none of our products contain gluten ingredients. Great, I'm done, I'm happy, I'm feeling good about it, and I move on. Let's say there's no information online. What do you do then? I would, again, open up my browser and type in Top Care customer service number. Okay, you want the manufacturer's number. So know the manufacturer, and then it'll give you probably like a 1-800 number. And you want to call the consumer 1-800 number, okay? And the prompts will lead you into different buttons you can push, and one of them will be for like allergies or side effects or medical personnel. If you want to talk to somebody, you want the medical side of that pharmaceutical company, so you can ask the medical personnel if that product contains gluten. They'll answer the phone, and this is what I say. Hi, my name is Nari. I have celiac disease. I have a severe allergy to gluten, and I'm at the grocery store, and I wanted to get your Top Care brand ibuprofen tablets, and I just wanted to know if there's gluten in the ibuprofen because I really want to be able to take that. And sometimes they'll put you on a brief hold. Sometimes they'll already have the information available, and they'll let you know one of three things. This medication is gluten-free. We tested, it's gluten-free, and you're fine. 2, there's no gluten-containing ingredients in this medication. And both of those I feel very, very comfortable. In my opinion, I feel fine taking those because I know they don't have any gluten. The third response I get sometimes is, we don't test for that. I have no way of knowing. You should ask your doctor, or you should ask your pharmacist or whatever. And the doctor and the pharmacist isn't gonna know. So typically I thank them for their time and I'll go look for another brand. So in summary, there are lots of medications that are easily marked nowadays on the back of the bottle, on the back of the boxes. They say gluten-free. So spin those bottles, spin those boxes, and check. 2, you can always research, get on your search bars and look up, is this manufacturer's medication name gluten-free? And lastly, you can always call the manufacturer's medical line to ask a medical professional within the pharmaceutical company if that medication is gluten-free. So you have a few steps to make sure that you are safe in the over-the-counter medications that you're taking. I hope this information is helpful and that you're able to navigate some of the over-the-counter medications that you may or may not need in the future. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you on part 2.